What's up, you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Marvel's Spider-Man 2 video, and today what I got for you guys here is a pretty heavy rumor. There is a rumor out there that states that we may be getting multiple symbiote suits within this game. Before we jump into the news though, if you're excited for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, if you can't wait to hopefully see some gameplay this year, well then scroll down right now and hit that thumbs up button. Happy New Year, everybody. If you're new here and you want to keep up to date on all things Marvel Spider-Man 2 related, I got you covered, so hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so that you don't miss out on a future video. And I am lastly reminding you guys that I am sponsored by G Fuel. The Spider-Man No Way Home G Fuel is available right now, and you can get your hands on that radioactive lemonade flavor. Head to that link in the description and use code Caboose at checkout. And with that being said, let's jump in and let's talk about the news that I got for you guys today. Okay, so this has been making the rounds over on Twitter. A lot of people have been talking about this report that is coming from the FandomWire. They mentioned just a couple of days ago on December 28th, every suit in the upcoming Spider-Man game for the PS5 will reportedly have a symbiote variant version. And then they link to a source, which is at Optical Cinema, who works for the FandomWire or is a writer for the website, saying, hearing there will be a symbiote variant of every suit in hashtag Spider-Man 2. And to be honest, I don't want to sit here and tell you that this report is absolute confirmation that this is what's going to be happening in Marvel Spider-Man 2. As I always say, take it with a grain of salt, and especially with FandomWire, take this with a heavy grain of salt, maybe even a cup of salt if you will. They have reported a ton of quote-unquote exclusives about films like Spider-Man No Way Home that didn't end up being correct, but they got one right, okay? They got one pretty major exclusive right. And it's the only reason why I'm making this video. It's the only reason why I'm talking to you guys about this is because they got this one major exclusive correct. It could potentially give them credit to getting this right as well. Spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home, if you haven't seen it yet, the exclusive that they got is this tweet that they put out back in October of 2020, where they mentioned Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have signed on for Spider-Man 3. Of course, at the time, it wasn't titled Spider-Man No Way Home. We had no idea what it was being called, but also it was being reported by the writers of the film that Tobey and Andrew didn't actually officially sign on until December of last year. So what could have happened here with their exclusive for Spider-Man No Way Home about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returning for the film is that maybe they heard through the grapevine that that was an idea that Sony and Marvel Studios wanted to pursue, and of course it came to fruition as they officially signed on in December of 2020. Nevertheless, that's a pretty huge exclusive, so you do have to give credit where credit is due, but they've also reported a ton of stuff, like apparently Kraven the Hunter was going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. They mentioned that Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, was going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. None of that ended up happening. And another reason why a lot of people shouldn't immediately take this as confirmation is because the person who is reporting this as their exclusive, Optical Cinema, over on Twitter, is saying that every suit is going to have a symbiote variant. There really isn't any mention of if that's going to be the case for both Peter and Miles, because I think it's a safe assumption that in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we're going to be able to play as both Spider-Men. So is Miles going to have a bunch of symbiote suit variants as well? Are both of them going to be getting the symbiote in the game? I think that that's highly unlikely, and I think that it's only going to be Peter Parker who ends up getting the symbiote. So the omittance of mentioning that these will be for Peter Parker, to me, feels like it's something of more of an educated guess rather than actually a scoop or a leak that's coming from inside sources. And I'm not trying to call out anybody here. I'm not trying to say that FandomWire or Optical Cinema is just out here spouting lies. Maybe they do have sources and maybe they have heard something through the grapevine, but maybe their insider or whoever is providing them these scoops is just getting the wrong information. On the subject though of symbiote suit variants for alternate costumes in Marvel Spider-Man 2 for Peter Parker, I think that that is very likely. I could absolutely see Insomniac doing something really cool like that, where if you're playing with an alternate suit, like if they were going to import the suits from Marvel Spider-Man, let's say you're running in there with the 2099 suit, maybe they create a symbiote version of the 2099 suit. Given how Insomniac has proven time and time again that they go above and beyond with the games that they make, and they try their absolute best to provide the fans the ultimate experience, it would make a lot of sense to me if they were going to look at the blueprint of Spider-Man Web of Shadows, the ability to switch to the symbiote version of your suit on the fly, but apply that to every alternate suit and give them a symbiote version. It would be the best way for Insomniac to deliver big time on an ask from the community of having several different symbiote suits in the game. I mean, even on my wish list of suits that I wanted in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I put the black suit from Spider-Man 3 from the Raimi films. But imagine a scenario where in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, we just get that same Raimi suit that they already added into the first game, and then the symbiote version of it when you just hit a button and activate the symbiote, similar to Spider-Man Web of Shadows. There's some pretty crazy fan service opportunities here that hopefully Insomniac wants to take advantage of. If they don't though, if all of this is BS, if the rumors aren't true and what ends up happening is that there's just one base symbiote suit that you switch to with any alternate costume, then let's not attack Insomniac about it. This idea of having a variant symbiote suit for every alternate costume in the game must be a massive undertaking for them that would require a ton of work. So if it doesn't happen, yeah, I'll be bummed out about it, but it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, what I think we're all looking for in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is another great story that's going to be involving Venom, and I can't wait for that, and Kraven the Hunter's going to be in it, and that's super exciting. And then as well, some enhanced gameplay, or just in general, some improved gameplay mechanics that are better than what we saw in Marvel Spider-Man, and as well in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Alternate suits are cool and all, but they're just cosmetic, and they don't really affect the way that the game plays. I guess outside of maybe suit powers, that does affect the game in a way, but for the most part, the way that these Spider-Man will play and the way that the story will play out is what I think everyone is going to be looking forward to the most. So let's first and foremost hope that Insomniac nails those aspects of this game before we're sitting out here writing petitions to get them to add multiple different symbiote suits into Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's the new year, so that means at a maximum, we are 1 year and 11 months away from Marvel Spider-Man 2. I highly doubt it's going to take that long though. I think just similar with Marvel Spider-Man dropping in September, that we're probably going to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 in that fall to holiday season of 2023, and I cannot wait. Hopefully we get a gameplay reveal this year as well. That would be amazing. There is so much to look forward to and so much content to make in the coming months and years ahead. This year alone, I think I got 3 comic book games coming out that I'm going to be heavily covering here on the channel. Then we got Marvel Spider-Man 2 in 2023. Marvel's Wolverine is on the way, and there's more Marvel games in development. I'm telling you, I'm getting overwhelmed. But hey, the support that you guys have shown me throughout the entirety of 2021 has motivated me like crazy to bring you guys the best content that I possibly can throughout this year, and I will strive to do exactly that. And with that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts on everything here in the comments section below. Do you think that these reports from FandomWire are true and that we're going to be getting multiple symbiote suits for Peter Parker, or maybe even for Miles Morales as well, in Marvel Spider-Man 2? Or do you think that this is just an educated guess? Or do you think that it's all BS and there's no way that this is going to happen? Sound off with your thoughts in the comments, and of course, if you enjoyed today's video, if you could consider leaving a like rating on it, it would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are going to be in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.